she goes, I only need to get 2 pairs of pants to start and 2 shirts to start and these shoes. They didn't have hibachi coffee pots back then, but so being good big brother, I was like, no. You work 5 days a week. 2 pairs of pants ain't gonna cut that. We're gonna get 5 pairs of pants. We're gonna get 5 shirts. I got you. I got 2 pairs of shoes. Like I was like, I got you. And then we kind of went on like a little extra because I'm a young dumb kid coming back from a deployment. You know, you got hazard pay and all this other pay and all this other stuff. So you make good paycheck tax free while you're in combat zone. So I had the money to burn and nothing to spend it on. So I spent a little extra. I buy her some nice clothes and some nice shoes, some stuff to wear off. And everything that she asked for, I bought it. Now, get it, put it in the bag. Let's go. She looks at this purse and she goes, that's a nice purse. And I was like, yeah, I don't use purses, so I don't get this. And we keep going. We leave the store. We're driving back to my dad's house. And because ironically, we were both, like, I was on vacation, so I technically didn't live there. And she goes, can I ask you a question? I said, what you got? She goes, everything I asked for, you bought it. No questions asked. I said, yeah, that's what I do. I'm a big brother. It's my job. She goes, but what about the purse? And I was like, what are you talking about? And she goes, the purse in the store. I told you it was a nice purse. And I was like, I don't remember this at all.
Right.
Didn't register. And so my purse theory is, as men, if you look at me and you say, I want this, my brain is going to keep that. That's going to be, nope, you want that? Mm-hmm. I got you. If anybody doubts it, ask Mike what his wife got for Christmas last year, because I got it. So, I mean, granted, it wasn't like anything fancy. It's just chocolate Christmas trees. That's the only thing she told me she liked, so that's all she got.
She doesn't like the chocolate ones.
It's the white ones, right?
It's the white ones.
Yeah, because I had to go to like 4 different stores to find the white ones, and then swapped them out with the black, the chocolate one boxes. I took all the chocolate ones out, put the white ones in there, and then made her think that I got her chocolate ones. And then when she opened them, it was the white ones. It was funny. But anyway, so if you don't tell me what you want, if you don't specifically identify to me to register that you want it, you ain't getting it. And I've told every woman I've ever been with the purse theory. That's like within the first 2 weeks.
I think that goes back to being we're a lot more objectively focused.
Right.
Where hey, during the holidays, hey, you're stressed out or you're focusing on what you're spending money on.
Right.
Is it going to be a gift for this person, that person, or whatever? And if you get it where you don't have to do that, it doesn't take any attention, you move on to the next thing. And that's kind of where a lot of guys, we all get in trouble for it,
Right. Well, and that's the part that irritates me about the exchange of gifts between men and women is that, we as guys, first off, Father's Day is during the summertime. Mother's Day, you get cards and everything else sent home from school. So Father's Day, we're in the middle of summer. So unless your wife is like, hey, make sure Daddy gets a card or whatever. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind new socks. I don't mind tools. Throw me a 10 mil socket any day. I don't mind the cheesy Dad gets a new tie, pair of socks, and a set of wrenches or something, I don't mind that stuff. But at the same time, when Mom gets a new coffee maker or something like that for Mother's Day, and all of a sudden we're the bad guy. It's like, because I remember the day that Daddy got Mama a vacuum for Christmas. That didn't go over very well, but it's a thing that we have to learn to communicate to each other, that we as men, if I say, Mike, what you want for your birthday, and you say, man, just show up, that's all you're getting.
Right.
That's all you asked me for. That's all you're getting. Now, if, like this year, your wife calls me and goes, hey, there's this toolbox on sale, and I really want you to help me get it for Mike, but I really don't want you to tell Mike, I'm on the way. I got you. Something that I don't know.
Right.
But as a counterpart to that, if you're not okay with it, don't say you're okay with it.
Right.
Don't tell me that you're going to it's not a big deal. We won't buy each other gifts. If I don't buy you a gift, are you going to be mad at me? That's your fault.
Well, and that's where, circle it back around to Thanksgiving. The first year.
My bad. I'm on this like
every single time
squirrel
you open your
thing.
mouth this show. But
so mean
the first year we hosted Thanksgiving at our house, we almost killed each other. There's no I would say World War III. There's got to be something more diabolical.
Was
than
it
that.
Was it the same 2 years you forgot Christmas and birthday gifts?
No, this is after that. We've already learned. Man, when it was a good time. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But getting everything set up, I'm in the middle of cooking a turkey. We got ham, we got mac and cheese, we got all this stuff going on. all the stuff that where you're preparing the food is cluttered in the kitchen. You
Right,
got
right.
pots and pans
Small
everywhere.
space, no matter how big your kitchen
and then
is.
for some reason, okay, I don't know, and this I think a lot of guys. I'm speaking for the fat population here. I don't know why we bake cookies prior to cooking all the rest of the food.
Stupid
and
idea.
And you expect me to not eat on them
Right.
all day long. Like it's not going to happen. Like I didn't touch the pecan pie. And it's pecan, not pecan. But
Right.
I didn't touch the pies or anything, but you cook all these cookies and stuff, and you have all these desserts laid out, and I'm not supposed to touch them as I'm going back and forth doing all this other stuff. That's not going to happen.
Right.
But anyway, we wound up getting like it was arguments and little lightheaded stuff. Don't get me wrong, but it was just the day like runs the risk of getting ruined because you're so stressed out because you want it to be perfect for everybody.
You overdo it.
Yeah, you overdo it, and I think I think the last couple years that we've done it, where it's like, hey, we're not. This is what we're doing. If somebody wants to bring something else, they can bring it.
Right.
Great, but trying to keep it a little bit more relaxed, where it's not a big stressful event. I think that's what we get. There's enough things right now that make it stressful.
Like a coffee pot, just sizzling in the background.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things that make it stressful, and if we could find enjoy the holiday like that would change a lot of stuff. And whether that's Thanksgiving, whether it's Christmas or whatever.
Right. I think that's the other thing. I kind of wanted to touch back on it, but, I went down that turducken squirrel rabbit hole. I didn't mean to say the F word. Sorry, turducken. So, I 100% agree with you. If you're going to invite somebody to your house, and 9 times out of 10, there's the what's the word? Like obligation?
Obligatory.
Thank you. I can never say that word. There's that word, and they feel like they've got to offer to bring something, right? And you and I are in the same thought process with it, where it's like, no, I invited you, you're good, show up. That's all I'm asking for is your presence. And in that same breath, a lot of people anticipate that, and they count on that because they know they themselves can't fully fund that event. Right. And so I think if you're in that boat, a very important thing to take into consideration is say something. You know what I mean? Like, if it's going to be one of those, like, hey, look, guys, we can't afford to feed everybody, but we want everybody. Say something.
Right.
Hey, look, I can even, easily come back and be like, look, I can't afford to bring you a turkey this year, but I can definitely go pick up the drinks or something similar, or, hey, I don't have a lot of time to cook this. Do you mind if I just go buy some pre-made from Walmart or whatever? I'm going to bleep that out because you don't pay me for commission. So, but I think it all reverts back to the whole reason that we have our podcast is communication is the key to everything.
Right.
And you've got to be able to humble yourself sometimes or be vulnerable sometimes to say the truth about where you are, whether it's mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, and talk to people and tell them. And I agree with you 110%. We have gotten so disillusioned with social media that's made it easier to comment on somebody else's post and be like, oh, hey, your kids are growing so fast. I remember, 3 years ago when you put their pictures up, they weren't that big. But the reality is you don't want to go sit at that person's house because maybe little Billy's kind of rambunctious or whatever, or let's be honest, some people's kids suck. You don't want to be involved in that. So it's easier just to comment on Facebook, Happy Thanksgiving, and call it a day. And again, I think this all has to do with the way the society has changed from back in the 80s, 90s when you couldn't text.
Right.
You had to get the landline. You had to call somebody on the telephone who lived in another state to tell them about, Happy Holidays or Happy Thanksgiving or whatever. That's another thing that I absolutely can't stand. It's Thanksgiving. It's Christmas. Happy Holidays doesn't exist. I don't care. If you have a different viewpoint, be it your religion, be it your whatever, just accept that somebody was kind. They said, "Hey, happy."
Oh, you're talking about like
the Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays debacle
when people
thing.
Get mad about it.
Yeah, it's like, bro. So, in the military, I had a guy. He was a Shiite. All right, Actually, I think I'm saying that all wrong. But he was one of the good guys that wore a turban. I can't actually remember what their actual names are, but super nice
Talk
guy.
about a sheik.
Sheik, thank you. Shiites is actually something in Iraq, but they they have like this long traditional history of war fighters and everything else. Like these dudes are back in the day were like serious BAs with swords and everything else. And we had a guy in the unit that super nice, and I'm like, hey man, Merry Christmas, and he'd be like, "Hey," whatever they celebrate, I don't remember, and it was never an issue. And like when the whole Happy Holidays debacle came out, he's like, "Bro, I'm just glad nobody thinks I'm on the other team."
Right.
He's like, "So I don't get mad about it. It's not personal." So if you're one of those people that get so upset about like, oh, you're offending this and that, get out of town. I don't care. Just let people be happy and enjoy the this time frame of the year,
Right.
because November should be your warm up. Like this should be I'm about to be thankful for all of these glorious things in my family and my loved ones and everything else. Don't let it be your downfall. Don't let it drive you down the road of like resentment and offense and all this other trash. Like the
I personally use Thanksgiving and Christmas as a way of building up fat storage.
just not where I thought you were
Like
going.
a bear.
You're just
So
hibernating,
that,
right?
afterwards I can hibernate for the rest of the winter.
I didn't see you going
So-
that way. Didn't see you going that way.
So that's the way I do it.
No, I always looked forward to it. Even as a kid, I always looked forward to it because I knew that we were going to get the chance to go see the cousins. We were going to get to go see, all these people. And it was always at Grandma and Grandpa's house. That's where everybody met at. Grandpa had this massive table and a kid's table. And, like, the highlight was like, one more year, and I'm off the kids' table later.
Right.
Jeez. Like, I didn't say it. I don't have to edit it. So, and now it's like, we don't have that. You know what I mean? Like, one of the things that recently happened was you told me about a conversation you were having with Brittany about Thanksgiving and everything else, and she was concerned that I wouldn't be able to come because I didn't have my kids or something like that. And it was like, in my brain, I'm like, that's what family is. That's, to me, that means that you care enough to actually take those things into consideration before you've even discussed it with me, And it's that's what Thanksgiving's about. It's being in somebody's mind and in their life enough that they're having these discussions without you present about wanting you present, and it's like that's what we got to get back to. And then we don't have these turduckens and all this weird things that go on where it's not about, who can spend the most money, who's got the most lavish stuff. Because I know our Thanksgiving last year was not crazy. It was
The house
just
that all the sheetrock was.
right. Like we were in the manger for all intents and purposes. It does look so much better. I mean, minus whatever crazy cabinet idea that Brittany has. I didn't say that out loud, but it's the small things, and that's everybody gets so hyper focused on because you're gonna see a million pictures of everybody's Thanksgiving layout and everything else, and it's like, first off, I already know you're throwing half that shit away.
Right.
You ain't eating all that, and that's just it's where my brain goes, is that we've commercialized the holidays, and as you said earlier, Christmas has destroyed Thanksgiving. It's taken the commercialization of what Christmas started out to be to what it's become, and you overlook Thanksgiving because there's no presents. There's no like whatever. And when we get to our Christmas episode, like, believe me, I'm going to tell you all the crazy things I do as dad for Thanksgiving or for Christmas, because I go all out for these kids for Christmas. But I agree 110% with you. It's ruined that holiday. What did you just do with your face? Like Sabrina? No, what's that? I Dream of Bewitched. If you think I'm not going to add a twinkle twinkle to this, like, when you do it, because it's funny to me.
Guys, I want to say thank y'all for taking a moment and listening to this episode. It was derailed about as many times.
I'm sorry.
as
My brain was.
So, my apologies for that. But I do want to say we know that it is Thanksgiving, it's a holiday. Some of y'all have the day off. Some of y'all have several days off. If that's the case, then there's absolutely zero reason why you can't send some type of email to coffeeandthebull@yahoo.com.
Right, with all that time off.
You take your time with your family, have a good time, be nostalgic.
While you're with your family,
back
tell them
all
to
the
like,
pictures
share,
and
follow,
stuff.
and subscribe.
But while you got all that time available, go ahead, hit all those podcast buttons. Send us an email. Let us know what you want to hear about. The next episode is going to be a pretty heavy one.
Yeah.
You're going to kind of get back into the gear where we used to be. We're giving y'all a little bit of a break.
Trying to keep it not so heavy all the time.
Light things, and then obviously that doesn't work well because he keeps derailing it.
I'm sorry.
So we're going to get back on track, guys. So for now, I want to say thank y'all for taking a moment out of your day. And
no, we're not saying bye yet.
Toodaloo.
Nope, I'm going to do it. Very important. It is a holiday. Please don't be that guy that drinks and drives or ruins the holiday for everybody else.
Yeah.
All right? Because if you find me and Mike on the side of the road on the holidays.
Then it's too chill.
Not stupid. Not stupid.